Is anything ever allowed to settle down, breathe, take shape before shaking it all up again? Apparently not in Pakistan cricket. A horrible test, a few low scores, and Pakistan is always ready with a reactive response. 1 minute it's a new coach. The next it's a captaincy shakedown. They keep changing gears mid-race and somehow expect to cross the finish line in a single piece. Last week, Pakistan cricket hit a new low. A 3-match test series against England kicked off. They lost the first test in Multan and it was a meteoric defeat. It was the first time in test history that a team lost by an innings despite posting over 500 runs batting first. That was Multan pitch for you, coupled of course with a lackluster performance by Pakistan batters. After that horrific display, the country's cricket board held an emergency meeting. It lasted for around 2 hours. Right, so given these circumstances, you knew what was coming. The most mercurial and unpredictable cricket team in the world is surprisingly very predictable when it comes to this, problem solving, in the most bizarre ways that they truly can. A shake-up for the next game seemed in line, but their latest move has surprised cricket fraternity all over. PCB decided to drop their best batter in that lineup, ex-captain Babar Azam. He won't be featuring in any of the remaining matches in the series. Along with him, as per reports, 2 top pacers have also been cut loose, Shaheen Afridi and Naseem Shah. It feels less like a strategy and more like shooting aimlessly and hoping to hit bullseye. Officially, these players are being rested. Let's look at Babar Azam. He's had a poor batting average since last year, sure. He's been under the pump. Captaincy concerns also not really helping him and pegging him back when it comes to his batting too. But instead of persisting with your best batter, PCB have agreed that showing him the door to supposedly clear his head is the best solution at this point. The selection committee members feel it will get him back on track. But how does this make any sense at all? To regain form, players need to be in the middle of it all, in the heat of the battle. They need support during a tough stretch. Instead of doing that, the selectors have tossed them aside. Let me point out something here. Pakistan's cricket board held what they called a connection camp. We spoke about it here. It was held last month. It was aimed to address issues surrounding the team, its management, improve the general system of cricket in Pakistan, resurrect cricket in Pakistan, to be precise. Guess who attended that camp? Babar Azam and Shaheen Afridi. Talk about disconnection. Fans, of course, have come out in droves ridiculing this move ahead of the second test. Some cricket experts in there too having their say, and of course other cricketers had to express their shock and anger. Fakhr Zaman, one of them, has called out this madness. He came out in strong support of Babar Azam.
India didn't bench Virat Kohli during his rough stretch between 2020 and 2023 when he averaged 19.33, 28.21 and 26.50 respectively. If we are considering sidelining our premier batsman, arguably the best Pakistan has ever produced, it could send a deeply negative message across the team. There is still time to avoid pressing the panic button. We should focus on safeguarding our key players rather than undermining them.
The Babar Azam situation, of course, screams disaster, especially when you compare it to a scenario in India with respect to Virat Kohli. Of course, he's had his fair share of rough years in the past, but the year 2014 in particular was brutal. Kohli struggled a lot during that tour to England. He was in his worst possible form. Back then, Kohli and his family faced a ton of heat from trolls and critics alike. But the Indian Cricket Board didn't bail out on him. They had his back. You always back your best. That faith kept Kohli going. If there's one thing Pakistan needs to learn from India, one of quite a few, it is this. Babar Azam's benching is a sign of a system that isn't in good health, that values quick fixes rather than strengthening a system. If they want to stop floundering, they need to show faith and not dump players at the first sign of trouble. The second test between Pakistan and England, of course, starts off on Tuesday, 15th October. England rides high after the first win. They're buzzing with confidence, boosted also of the news of their all-rounder Ben Stokes possibly taking the field. Pakistan, on the other hand, will look to battle not just a formidable opponent on the field, but also the chaos in that dressing room.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.